Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada with the MLM Superheroes. And we are live right now on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, what I want to do here today is I want for you to be able to realize that it's really possible. It's possible to start a business with just a few $100s and in 30 days, be able to set yourself up so that you have a $100,000 annualized income, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story here about what happened for me, and I'm going to show some slides. I'm going to show you my strategies, exactly how I did this to be able to go from nothing to $100,000 a year. That was my intention. Now, it got even better than that because I hit that first goal within 30 days, and I actually 1.5 times exceeded that path within that period of time. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to take you right behind the scenes. I'm going to show you the actual blueprint and the strategy that I use to not only consistently be a top recruiter, but every time I roll out a program, every time I get involved as an affiliate or a distributor or an agent of a company, it's the same format, guys. It's the exact same format. Time after time, company after company, pretty much guaranteed in a 90-day period of time, I can recruit at least 100 people, okay? Now, this is not going after the same people over and over. I'm talking about brand new people from a complete flat start. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. We're going to go behind the scenes and we're going to go live. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do, guys, is we are live. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about today is how I was able to create a 6-figure yearly income within a 30-day period of time. My name is Darren Little. I'm also known online as the MLM Superhero. And guys, truly my goal here is to provide you with as much value as I possibly can. I want for you to understand why people fail in MLM, the difference between relationship selling and corporate selling. And we're going to go into a lot of detail, and I would highly recommend that you have a pen and paper in hand and that you take a lot of notes. You can also take a picture of the screen so that you can flash back to it later, but you'll get the most amount of value from this seminar if you actually take notes and write down the material, okay? So what I want for you to understand here, guys, is this is a step-by-step formula. And, you know, if you stay around to the very end of the seminar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a $297 bonus for free, just for showing up here today. Because 80% of success, guys, is about showing up. And the fact that you're here right now means that you're one of the people that has a burning desire inside to create freedom for you and your family. And I want you to know that it really, truly is possible. But it's 95% mindset. What do you think? What do you believe to be true? And what is your strategy to be able to do what's called break inertia? There's literally like an invisible barrier that will stop your business from moving into momentum, and that's what you've got to understand. So what was I looking for? What do I look for when I'm looking for an opportunity? Guys, if you want to make good money in this type of a business model, you've got to get some sort of an affiliate program or a company that pays large commissions so that you can obviously do the least amount of work and get paid the most amount of money. So you need something that pays high commissions. It has to be affordable for the masses. Now, what do I mean by that? If you have a low entry price, you know, between $7 and $25 preferably, but it can be as high as about $60. That's really what's called, it's not a husband and wife decision. They don't have to get together and have a big powwow on whether or not they're going to put $7 or $25 on their credit card. So when you're looking for a business, if you're looking for automation, you want to, for the front end, the commitment that a person's going to make, you want it to be as low as possible, but the program, the system has to have the ability for upselling. Okay, so they may have a number of products or things that you can purchase once that you're activated. Okay, now if you have a format like that where it's a low entry price and you've got an upsell of some type, I can tell you that those type of programs will generate the most amount of money for you in the shortest period of time. Now, people need to be able to become profitable in your business, whatever it is, guys, in 30 days with an all-out massive action plan. And I'm going to talk about that in this webinar. The next thing that I wanted to look for is I wanted to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort in the shortest time possible. Because keep in mind, my 30-day window, I believed 100% that after 30 days, I would have myself set up for a $100,000 yearly residual income. The corporate videos have to convert on their own, guys, and this is imperative. I always do test marketing before I roll out any campaign, because if the video doesn't sell on its own and you think you're a good salesperson and you can explain it all and you can explain how great it is and you can explain why people need to get in, nobody else can. So especially the single mom that's got 3 children that has to do pickups and drop-offs and breakfast, lunch, and dinner and drop them off at ballet and karate class. If your corporate video does not get somebody excited about your program, I'm telling you, you will not have duplication in your company. So you have to have a corporate video that will sell completely on its own. Your goal as a networker is not to be a seller. It's to be a connector and a problem solver. Really important that you get the distinction of that. People that tell me that they're really good in sales, I go, oh boy, we're gonna have to totally, completely retrain you because you won't understand this type of a business model. It's very casual. And you've got to get good at building rapport and asking people questions to find a need or identify a problem, okay? But once you direct them to the video on its own, guys, very important, your video on its own has to be able to explain the whole program, get people excited, and motivate them to pulling out their credit card and taking action. The video on its own. No convincing, no telling them that they've got to get in because of all these other reasons and why the products are so great and blah, blah, blah. Don't do that, okay? Your recruiting levels will tank. And even if you're an amazing salesperson, you can take a round peg and jam it into a square hole, nobody on your team will be able to duplicate it, okay? So keep that in mind. In networking, something or someone other than you is going to explain your business. Now, there needs to be marketing training that's provided. And if you don't have marketing training with whatever it is that you're marketing, where your team can learn new skills and increase their value to the marketplace, you will forever be holding people's hands and trying to teach them all of this stuff. That's why you'll find a lot of the stuff that I do is in video, and people can go through the training on their own time, but I want to be able for them to get new skills and learn strategies. Here's an example. If I say that I'm really good with video and somebody goes, well, I'm not good in video, right? So they go, oh, I guess I can't do it, right? There's all sorts of different strategies, and people have to find the right fit for them. And you only need 1 or 2 marketing strategies and get really, really good at those. But you may be good on video, somebody else isn't. Maybe you're a good writer, somebody else doesn't know how to write. Maybe you're really creative, they're not very creative. So you've got to have sort of a smorgasbord of marketing, training, and skills that they can pick from sort of a menu or a restaurant of what works best for them. Now, I want to give you an idea, and I want to talk to you about two things with this particular diagram here. The first thing is in the area of test marketing. What is test marketing? I want to make sure that the corporate video on its own is going to convert. Now, I can do a couple things with that. I can write some copy and I can post something onto my Facebook wall and see if people actually buy on their own. I could do a video and put a domain name where people are going to buy to see if they will buy on their own. I could write a press release and put a URL in the press release to see if people will buy on their own. Keep in mind, this is without talking to me. I could send out an email to my email list and write some copy, put a link, and see if people will buy on their own. This is without talking to me, guys. Critical that you understand this in your test marketing, that the marketing materials that the company provides have to convert on their own. If you want a scalable business, you have to have corporate videos that convert, that turn into cash flow without you picking up the phone, without you talking to anybody. Will it still convert, and will people buy? So you can see here in my first 2 weeks, that's when I was doing my test marketing, and it proved itself out. So in the first week, there was one person that purchased. In the second week, there was one person that purchased. But my strategy that I'm going to show you to break inertia, it happened in my third week. So look at the numbers. It went from about 129, then all of a sudden it's over $1,000. It goes from 1,000 to 1,600, then to 2,300, then to 2,800, then to 4,600, for a total of $12,361.85. So keep in mind though, individual results are going to vary depending on how driven that you are and how bad that you want financial freedom. Because when you see what I really do, guys, the formula is simple, but are you prepared to take this amount of massive action? I don't know. All I can do is give you the formula that I've personally used, and I use it over and over and over. Every time I roll out a new campaign for anything that I'm promoting, I use the exact same formula. So keep in mind, these happen to be affiliate products that paid out large commissions, and they helped people solve a problem. Okay, really important that you get that part. If you have products that can help people solve specific problems, they will actually sell with a video. Okay, so once you can identify the person's problem and you target their problem, you're now providing a solution to their problem. Really, really simple formula when you think about it. Now, I want for you to understand that in the industry in general, guys, overall, there's less than 0.001% of all the people in this industry that earn more than $400 a month. Okay, so you really have to, be a massive action taker. You really have to do a lot to break inertia to move a business into front-end momentum. And I'm going to talk about that right now. Now, guys, don't be this guy. There's so many people out there that they literally bring people into an organization and they just completely leave them stranded. They're kind of like, hey, welcome on board. We'll see you at the top. And they're as the sponsor, they just literally vanish. It's not your job to be able to, take somebody that's a victim and be able to handhold them through every part of the process, but you've got to at least make sure that that person is connected to their dream. They're connected to their vision. They know what it is that they want. What's their goal and objective? What do they really want to try to achieve? And then point them into a direction where they can get the training and the education in order to take their life to the next level. So this is kind of a little bit of a joke. There you got Gilligan and the skipper. And he's like, hey, skipper, WTF happened to our sponsor? And Skipper says, I don't know, little buddy, but they sure left us stranded. And that's typical in this industry. Don't be that guy. Don't be that gal that's bringing people in and just leaving them like dust on the side of the road, okay? Because it's a very small industry. People talk, and you want to be a leader, and you want to be providing as much value as possible. So how do you get an audience? How do you get people to start following you so that you have people to talk to? The first thing I'm going to tell you is this is a leadership business model. It's a personal development business model. So you have to be on the path of leadership. You've got to literally be feeding your mind constantly with success principles, with mindset, with breaking through fear, with how to be able to get control of your thoughts, get control of your words, and get control of your emotions. You have to be the person that is unshakable, unstoppable to go to that next level, because that's who people follow. They're not going to follow somebody that's not committed or not firm on where they're going. They want to follow somebody that's bulletproof, that's going to lead them through that minefield that's already made their way through to the other side, guys. So you have to be unstoppable. I always give people the visual of RoboCop because that's who people want to follow. They want to follow a fearless leader that's going to take them through and be able to deal with anything, any type of objection. So you've got to get yourself into the right type of mindset to be the leader. And people say, well, how do I recruit leaders, Darren? What do I do to attract those leaders? In order to attract the one, you've got to be the one. That's what lassos the audience to you. So you've got to be the leader. The next thing is that you have to be providing value to the marketplace overall. Okay, so that means I'm not talking about just your team. I'm talking about industry-wide. You've got to be able to provide value to the market. And here's the clincher, guys. You have to be able to solve people's problems. So there's a number of things that will keep on coming up for people. You know, they'll come up against their own fears. They won't know what they want. They get involved in a business and they have no idea what they really want. They have no goals. They have no intention. They've got no vision, and they've got no action plan, no strategy. They don't know how to generate leads. They don't know how to posture themselves in the marketplace, to position themselves as a leader. All of these things they don't understand. They don't know how. So they come up against what's called pushback. If they haven't been properly trained on what networking is, they come up against a massive wall of resistance. You know, people saying, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in one of those pyramid things. So you've got to understand what's people's pain level, and how can you help them to solve that pain as a leader. Okay, so you have to be very problem-solving driven with your content, with your videos, and how can you fast track a person along that path. Now, here's a formula that I can tell you that will get you a following, okay? Anybody can do this, guys. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be a situation where you're a millionaire or you've even made $100,000. People want value. So if you can learn a specific strategy on overcoming objections, or how to generate leads, or how to get people to say yes to what you have, how to build rapport quickly, easily, effortlessly, how do you get referrals from other people? Whatever it is that you've learned, you've got to learn some type of strategy, implement the strategy, and then share your results. Okay, so I consistently will do these little case studies where I'll try a little strategy. Maybe it's press releases, or maybe it's a Facebook strategy, and I'll implement it, and then I'll go live and I'll say, hey guys, you know, I just learned this new strategy on how to generate about 40 or 50 leads a day using Facebook. Is anybody interested in that? If I get 40 likes, I'm going to do a webinar. Okay, so that would be an example. So then you would do a webinar and you would share your results. Now you've got an active audience to be able to work with. So 3 steps. learn a strategy, you want to implement the strategy, and then you want to share your results that you've had. Now, I want you to understand that a lot of times when I start a business, I rolled out a test market last week, and my first story was that I was at lunch, I had bought some traffic, and during the time that I was away, I made $75. I didn't pick up the phone, I didn't do a three-way call, I didn't do a conference call, I didn't do a webinar, and during lunch, I made $75. And I said, if anybody wants to have a business, but they just don't have the time, but they have a budget, then message me. And my Facebook literally lit up, and there was like 18 or 20 people that said, Darren, where did you get your traffic from? What did you drive it to? What is it that the offer was? And there was a lot of interest just from that. I learned about a strategy. In this case, it was about traffic, right? I implemented it, and I shared the results. And it wasn't a big income story. This is the important thing to understand. It wasn't a large income story. It was only $75. But that story now got me a little audience. So people started to watch the progression of the campaign. So the following day, when I went out for lunch, it generated $108. And then in the evening, when I was doing a Google Hangout on something completely different, it generated $88. So in that one day, I generated almost 200 bucks. So now my story went from $75 to $193. So it started to grow exponentially. So that's what I'm talking about. They don't have to be large, result stories, as long as you have some sort of story. Now, a lot of people ask me, Darren, where did you get your training? How did you get started with learning how to market on the internet? And there was really two companies that provided a really, really high level of training and value. But the first one was My Lead System Pro. And a lot of the techniques that I use, and a lot of the top marketers that are out there in the marketplace, including people like David Wood, who went off to launch Empower Network, he got his first marketing training from My Lead System Pro. And a lot of the people that are in that program with Empower Network, as an example, they started off with My Lead System Pro, because there's a lot of training information. It's a smorgasbord of information, and you can choose what works best for you. After I went through My Lead System Pro, I went on to Empower Network, and I got a lot of training from Empower Network as well. But this was my starting point, guys. So if you go to MLMSuperhero.com as an example, you can get an idea of what that might look like. So the lead generation page that's there allowed me to put in my own custom video, and most of the copy was already written for me. So I didn't have to really know much of what to do. I just followed the directions, and it allowed me to offer value to the marketplace, help people solve their problem, okay, and generate a list of prospects. Now, that site right there, MLMSuperhero.com, that has generated me a list of prospects of almost 13,000 prospects. So imagine what it would be like for you, and that's without any paid marketing, guys. I just started paid marketing last week. That was my real first shot at it. I did a few co-ops in the past. I didn't really have much success with paid marketing. This last week was my first market test with paid marketing where I had a profitable campaign. And I'm going to talk about that in today's webinar. But this is really where I learned my strategies, guys. Now, what I'm going to be talking about a little bit in this webinar is really about the power of the mind. And I believed, guys, I believed that I was going to become the My Lead System Pro Member of the Month. That means that you've had, you go from maybe 0 to recruiting 30 people in a month, or you have an income story or something, and they want to showcase you on their system. And I believed wholeheartedly, that was one of my #1 goals, was to become Member of the Month. So in November of 2011, I became the MLSP Member of the Month. Now, I want you guys to understand this. I have never really done any type of online marketing before, okay? This was all brand new for me. I have no technical skills. I literally had cold sweats when I first started in online marketing for almost 90 days. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you, because I knew that if I wanted to take my life and my business to the next level, I had to learn it. And when you're not good at something, you've got no technical skills at all, it really messed me up. I had problem even looking at the Facebook screen. There was so many things and so many buttons, and it put my mind into complete overwhelm. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you, for 90 days at night, I couldn't sleep and I had cold sweats. I had to get through it, guys. And that's the important thing that you need to understand. How bad do you want your dream? What are you prepared to do? Would you have done that? Or would you have just said, oh, it's too hard, I'm not technical? Would you just have bailed, or would you have confronted it and just dealt with it, little tiny baby steps to get through? I got through, right? And within a few short months after that, I was MLSP Member of the Month. So 2011, that's only a couple years ago, guys. It's important to understand that this can happen relatively quickly, but you're going to need to get some type of education. Now, this is a perfect example because this is roughly over, maybe 2 months or so, but this is automated income, guys, okay? So this particular income is just from people going to my blog at darrenlittle.com, and I give a copy away of my book, which is The Value, right? And I'm going to talk about my blog here in a minute. But I don't talk to those people. They opt in and they're instantly taken into a funnel where there's a video that explains how we can help them solve their problems. But would that pay for a few auto ships, do you figure, guys? I mean, would that pay for your auto ship of your primary business? And would that pay for your some of your traffic and your autoresponder and your banner ads and things like that? That's called cash flow. And every business needs cash flow in order to keep it running. So by me not necessarily focusing on pitching somebody on something or selling them on my primary business, all I'm focused on is helping people to solve their problem. It's a big difference. There's no threat there. I don't have to say my company's better than your company. My products are better than yours. My comp plan's better than your comp plan. I don't have to do any of that because it doesn't matter what company that you're with. I can help you solve your problem. Now, this is an example of my blog. And, you can see here that a lot about marketing is about your brand. I rolled out the MLM Superhero brand. I thought it was fun. And, it kind of had a memorable ring to it. If somebody heard it one time, they weren't going to forget it. So I do guerrilla marketing, being able to go the fastest way into market penetration with spending the least amount of money. So that's why I came out with the brand called MLM Superhero. Now you can see here on my opt-in, it gives away value. It says, get your free copy of MLM Affiliate Magic. And it says, give me the book. And it's got a little opt-in. You'll notice that I do have a button there for phone number. And a lot of people do leave their phone number. So when people tell you, don't put a phone number, I disagree with that because I get a lot of people that do put in their phone number. And a lot of times I'll just reach out. Hey, Tom, Darren Little calling. Just wanted to reach out, touch base, say a quick hello. Just wanted to let you know I'm a real guy. I saw that you'd opted in to get a copy of my book. And if there's anything that I can do to help you along your path to success, I'm happy to help in any way that I can. Okay, that's my entry. And then I say, so tell me more about yourself. Tell me more about your business. Are you looking for a business right now? Are you marketing something right now? Tell me where you're at and let me see what I can do to help you. Okay, so I'm not trying to pitch him on my deal. I'm not trying to sell him on anything. I genuinely want to help him. And how am I going to be able to help him if I don't know what his pain is, if I don't know what his problem is? Now, what I do to increase my opt-ins here is I have a pop-up. Now, you'll notice on the pop-up, it says, learn the strategies I used to expand into 5 countries in less than 90 days, okay? One line, but it says a lot in that one sentence. Get a copy of my training manual valued at $197. So I'm giving away something where people are getting, in their mind, they're thinking like, holy cow, if I opt into this right now, I'm going to get something that's worth 200 bucks. Okay, so it's very important that if you're going to increase your opt-in rate, you need to put a value on what people are actually getting. Okay, so it's imperative that you understand that. Okay, so what do you blog about? Okay, because the blog strategies that I use get me incoming calls from people from all sorts of companies looking for information. And what I'll say to that person a lot of times is, well, Tom, let me ask you a question. I mean, when you were looking at, say, Limu, or you were looking at Monavi, I mean, are you just completely blown away with their products and their comp plan is like something that you've never seen before? Or do you just want to make money? Now, most people say, I just want to make money. Okay, that's a very interesting thing. So you'll notice that I use third-party reviews about other MLM companies. So you can go to, MLMrankings.com. You can find out all the hottest companies out there that are getting the most amount of buzz right now. Do a little review. You can go to their website, right? You can do a little research, right? So I use third-party reviews about other MLM companies. I do third-party reviews about new softwares or tools, or maybe the No Excuse Summit's coming out. A lot of times when there's corporate events, people type it in because they don't know the date, right? So if you've got a little review about that big event that's coming up, or a big speaker, or Les Brown's coming in town, and you do a little review about it and you post it on your blog, guess what happens? It generates more traffic. Third-party reviews about other leaders, trainers, or big money earners in the industry. So if you know that somebody's out there that's really giving a huge amount of value, and they're a top recruiter or a top income earner, and everybody knows their name, that's called piggyback marketing, guys, right? So maybe I'd piggyback off of Ray Higdon, right? And I would talk a little bit about, his leadership and about his story. I might even give Ray Higdon a call and do an interview and post that interview on my blog. Now I can post something on Facebook, drive it back to my blog, but guess what? The pop-up's going to come up, right? Talking about the value that they're going to get if they opt in. Number 4 is motivation, inspiration, and educational ideas that can help people, right? Now that could be a motivational video from Tony Robbins. It could be an inspirational quote, or I might be talking about something on positive affirmations or proclamations, or how do you do a vision board to get to your dreams? Something that's educational that can help people along their path to success. And then how-tos. I'm talking about how-tos about marketing, how-tos about different strategies, how-tos about how to increase your likes on Facebook, or how to get more views on your YouTube videos, how to get higher positioning on Google or YouTube search. Educational how-tos, I'm telling you, they will get you a lot of traffic. Articles and videos about marketing strategies, and then overall industry news that's going on. Now, you can get industry news at, things like MLM Watchdog actually puts out quite a bit of stuff. There's businessfromhome.org. There's all sorts of different, if you get a pulse on the industry, guys, you want to know what's happening. If Herbalife got hit with a lawsuit, or Zeke Rewards just went down, or if you post industry news, you will get a lot more eyeballs on your brand. So industry news about mergers, acquisitions, launches, and closures. If companies close down, do a little blog post about it. Put out some news about it. It doesn't mean that you have to put the company down, or I say, oh, it was the proof, the writing was on the wall. You don't have to do that. Just be informative and get the news out, and you'll get a huge amount of exposure for your brand. Now, I want you guys to understand this. When I roll out a business, this is no joke when I tell you that in my first 30 days, I had over 1,000 conversations. 1,000. Okay, now this is the strategy that I use in anything. It doesn't matter if I'm rolling out an idea or a public company or a private company, or I'm raising money, or I'm rolling out an affiliate program. The first thing that I do always is I go to my most influential contacts. Now, I don't want to say, hey, have I got a deal for you? Oh, you got to check out my deal. I never do that, ever, okay, ever. What I do instead is I reach out, I touch base, I say a quick hello to find out what's going on in your life, and I listen, okay? That's why you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Hey, Tom, it's Darren Little calling. Just wanted to reach out, touch base, and say a quick hello. What's happening in your world these days? And I listen, okay? That's why I call it reaching out and touching base. Okay, I'm not there to pitch them on anything. Now, after they're done, they say, what about you? You don't talk about business. It's critical. You give them a few updates on your family, some cool things that are going on in your life, a book that you've read, a seminar that you've been to, some cool things. People love to hear about cool things. And then I say to them, oh man, I got to tell you this story. This is hilarious. Okay, now I tell them something that's funny, and I change their state. Okay, when 2 people are laughing, their bodies will synchronize. I call that accessing the vault. Now I'm in. Now I typically will bridge over to talking about business by saying, hey, Tom, just out of curiosity, how are you finding the economy right now overall? Now, if he tells me that it's going amazing, all I'm going to do is recognize that I've heard. Oh man, that's phenomenal. Congratulations. Hey, Tom, just out of curiosity, do you know anybody right now that you can think of off the top of your head that's either in between careers, okay, in between careers, that is called transition, or that's underpaid at their job? That's called breaking point, okay? That might have the qualifications to roll out an international expansion for a company. You know, right now I'm rolling out a company right now. I'm looking for a couple key people. You know, typically first year, they're looking at between about 150 and 300K. Second year, about $500,000. Can you think of anybody off the top of your head that might have the qualifications I can get in front of? Okay, that's the same thing that I do for hiring management, doing board of directors, doing an advisory board. That's the same formula that I use. Now, if they tell me that it's going terrible, right? What I want to say is 5 words. Tell me more about that, okay? 5 words will make you rich. So, hey, Tom, just out of curiosity, how are you finding the economy right now overall? Darren, it's just terrible. Really? Tell me more about that. 5 words, guys, will make you rich. Now you're going to listen, and you can now be the white knight coming to save the day, but it's not going to be you, okay? And you don't even know if there's a fit, and you don't even know if they're qualified, but you've got somebody that you know that might be able to help them. Now keep in mind, remember this, it's critical if you're gonna be good in networking. Networking is a problem-solving and people connecting business model. So it's not you that when he tells you that things are going terrible, now you're going to start with your pitch. Well, I got this deal, man. I'm telling you, we're going to make so much money. You got to get in. Don't do that. You'll burn all your friends. Nobody will call you back. Don't go there. It's got to be something or someone other than you that's going to talk about your business. Now, that's people connecting with people, right? So you don't have to be worried about whether or not you have an income story, because it's not about you anyway, right? So critical that you know that. Now, my goal, my strategy on rolling out anything brand new is that I want to have 25 connections in any given day. 25, okay? That's the baseline, minimum, okay? When I'm on a roll, I'm not kidding you when I tell you that some days I have 75 connections in one day, right? Now people say, well, how do you do that, Darren? Well, no, it's real simple. I use Facebook, and I'm going to give you my Facebook formula so that you can see it step by step. I use value-based videos. They're typically about personal development or helping people to solve a problem. I do Google Hangouts where I have learned a strategy, implement it. Now I'm going to share the results on a Google Hangout. I might do millionaire mentoring on a Google Hangout. I do press releases. This is one of the fastest ways for you to get viral exposure about your brand. But you've got to be unique and different. Otherwise, you will not get viral exposure with press releases. Then I've got my blog. I also lasso people around and give them value on conference calls. I might be talking about quantum physics or how to create your own reality, or how I recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes, or how to move your business into rapid fire momentum in 30 to 90 days, how to leave corporate America within 90-day period of time. I'm going to come up with some sort of thing that I know is going to speak to the listening. Okay, so you got to understand this concept, speaking to the listening. So if I know your pain, I can talk to your pain. If I know your problem, I can talk to your problem, so that when you read my copy or you watch one of my videos, you're going to be saying to yourself, this guy's talking to me, right? A lot of people will send me messages on Facebook and they'll say, Darren, the posts that you've been putting out all day today, it's literally like you're talking to me the entire day, right? So you've got your Google Hangouts, your press releases, the blog. Remember, we gave you the formula for the blog, your conference calls, and paid traffic. Now, guys, paid traffic for me is a brand new horizon, okay? So I'm literally, and I'm not kidding you when I say this, I'm literally only about 10 days into paid traffic. But guess what? I already have a story. I already have a result that I can talk about. Wasn't a big result. My first result was only $75 on autopilot, and then it was, $200, and then it was in 4 days I recruited 15 new people. I generated 229 leads, and I made $636 during that period of time. Okay, so keep in mind, it's the little successes that lead into the bigger successes. Once you go from a little success into a big success, now your stories are about your team, okay? So it's important to understand that. This is a business of lifting people up and edifying them so that people can see other people on your team that are having success. So you got a little story, you talk about your little story, you lasso an audience, now you've got a following, you keep on giving them updates on your progress with your story. Now team members start coming on, and now you start to edify your team members, and everybody moves forward for success. So make sure, guys, this is imperative. If you're doing a launch, you have to make it a goal to have a minimum of 25 connections in any given day. Now, this is how you build rapport with people without even talking to them. This one strategy alone in the last 18 months has generated almost 5,000 followers on Facebook, guys. So this is a science. This isn't an accident. I'm giving you literally the fast track that can fast track you by 3 to 5 years. Once you understand this and you implement it, it's very easy, but you just have to be consistent. The core of your message should truly come from positivity as a leader. So positive quotes, motivation, inspiration. You want to start to be providing value with how-tos about things, right? Areas where you can see that people are having problems. People really want lifestyle. That's what they're really after. So the more that they see you in personal adventure and going places and out with your family or out with your team for dinners or bowling or going here, that's what they want, guys. That's what people want. They want more time with their family. They want more time with their friends, and they want adventure. They want to be able to take off whenever they want and travel around the world, or go someplace, or go to Hawaii, or go to Costa Rica. That's the excitement that everybody really wants, is personal adventure and freedom. You've got to make it entertaining. So you've got to mix it up a little bit. Throw in some comedy, throw in some trivia, get some interaction, ask people questions with, would you do A, B, or C? Would you do 1, 2, 3, or 4? start to get some interaction with some trivia. And every once in a while, you don't have to do this a lot, but every once in a while, you want to throw in a little bit of controversy. You know, like I did one post and it literally in 24 hours had hundreds and hundreds of people chiming in. And it said, I can't believe that our government got away with 9/11. Are people really that stupid? And there was people chiming in with videos and all sorts of things, and it was a controversial type of topic, right? And so, I mean, I admit sometimes I put out controversial topics and I've ridden the edge a little bit too far, and it's backfired on me. So you've got to, it's a little bit of gamble on if they're super controversial, but I do a lot of controversial stuff. Not every single day, but I throw it in there every once in a while. It's almost like poking the fire or just stirring them up or shaking people a little bit to wake them up. Now, you want to have social proof on your own personal success, but remember, this is critical, social proof on your team success. Now, if you want to be a high-level leader, I also recommend edifying leaders in other companies and other teams, okay? Other companies and other teams, because it shows that you come from an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset, and people truly are going to work with whoever they want, guys, just so you know, okay? You can't shelter people and protect them from somebody else stealing them. People don't steal people, okay? So it's important that you realize this is a relationship business. Focus on your relationships. Continue to provide as much value as you possibly can. Now, I use something a lot called piggyback marketing, guys, a lot. I piggyback off of celebrities. I piggyback off of hot things in the news. I piggyback off of special events like the Super Bowl, or maybe it's Labor Day or Christmas or, Boxing Day. I piggyback off of those, and I piggyback off of other marketers as well, because there's this sort of camaraderie amongst marketers that we just do that, okay? Now, once you can get a few people that you're piggybacking back and forth with on Facebook, you can really get some buzz going. I do a lot of stuff with Eric Green. He's known online as the Digital Gangster, and we have done some just amazing piggyback marketing strategies where we've literally created a success vortex, and it's almost like you can feel like a suction happening, and people start chiming in from all over the world, guys, all over the world. It's a phenomenon to witness. And then value-based webinars. So this is sort of an example of a value-based webinar. Now, what I want to do here is I want to give you an idea of some of these type of posts that I'm talking about. This here post on the left would be categorized as personal development, motivation, inspirational. So it says, when you start seeing your worth, you'll find it harder to stay around people who don't. Now, that in a very short period of time was liked over 100 times, okay? Now, this is what people don't get about Facebook. When you click on that 101 others, it's going to pull up a long stream of people that have interacted with your brand. Do you realize that one post generated 104 leads? 104 leads were generated from that one post, okay? Now, those are people that have seen my brand, right? They've interacted with my brand, and I want to reach out, touch base, and say a quick hello. Hey, Fred, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Hey, Lynn, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Hey, Lori, how's it going? Hey, Dore, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Right? You've got to realize that this industry is about relationships. It's about connecting. It's not about pitching. Stop your pitch. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can still present your business without even pitching. Okay, I'm going to go over that strategy here in a minute. Okay, so let's look at this one. You take a kid from $400 a week to over $100,000 a year, and instead of having gratitude, they turn into Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy's worth about 700 million, just so you know. So a kid that's made 100 grand thinks he's Puff Daddy all of a sudden. So his ego gets inflated, and they literally self-sabotage themselves, and you can literally just watch them implode. So it says ego is a bitch, and then they implode. Seen it happen hundreds and hundreds of times over the last 30 years. So bizarre to witness. So look at this one. There was 125 people commented. 125. Now keep in mind, every time somebody comments, guess what comes up? Your brand. So my brand was gone back and forth 125 times, was in people's face. Okay, now keep in mind, if you've liked or commented on that post, you're going to be made aware that somebody just made a new comment. So those people have gotten the brand, Darren Little, Darren Little, Darren Little, Darren Little, Darren Little, over and over and over 125 times in a very, very short period of time. Once again, I use piggyback marketing. I piggybacked off of Puff Daddy, right? Can you see how that works? And I just, I think Puff Daddy's a really cool guy. I love that suit. So I just, piggybacked off of him. I could have used Oprah Winfrey, or I could have used Donald Trump, or I could have used, Bill Gates. I could have used a lot of people. I decided I was just going to use Puff Daddy. I piggybacked off of the awareness of him. Okay. So this one on the left here, this is something that is in the area sort of trivia or novelty, something that's cool. It's got a cool factor to it. So here's this bathtub, and it's got this built-in TV, and probably got a waterproof remote control. And here's this woman sitting back having a jacuzzi. So in this very short period of time, guys, 51, 52, 53, 54 people hit the like button, and there was about 25 comments. Those are the hottest prospects that you can be interacting with. Keep in mind, you're not trying to pitch them. You're not trying to sell them on anything. You just want to find out what's going on in their life. Now, people typically get into a business if they're in some sort of pain or some type of transition. Your goal as a networker is to get enough of a connection so that they will open up and start telling you the truth. Start telling you what's really going on in their life and not sugarcoating the reality. Now, this one was a little bit sort of on the line of being a little bit controversial. It had two really, really attractive ladies. They're in their bra and their panties, and it said green or red, okay? Now, that one post, guys, has 175 comments. That means that all those people got my brand 175 times in a very short period of time. Darren Little, Darren Little, Darren Little, Darren Little, Darren Little, over and over and over again over the course of maybe 2 days. That was posted on November 1st, so you can see it's still a pretty fresh post. Okay, now this is called an interactive trivia post. Now it says, name a song with a woman's name in it. Now, I've posted this once before. The first time it pulled, 1,300 people commented. This particular time it went up, it's produced 794 comments. Do you realize that those people have seen my brand and my name 794 times since the 26th of October, right? Here's another one. Which style do you like best, right? A, B, C, or D? 383 people have commented, and 84 people have hit the like button. That's called interaction of your brand, guys. And if you can get good at understanding this formula, I'm telling you, your marketing will go to a completely different level. This is all free stuff. So using this strategy, it generated a following for me in 18 months of almost 5,000 people. 5,000, right? Just as an audience that I can interact with. Now, another one that's in the area of cool factor or trivia. It's the new flying car that's just coming out. It looks kind of like a truck. It's got those wheels on the back, it drives down, and all of a sudden you hit a button, the wings go straight out, and boom, you're ready to take off. Okay, so that one was 61 62, 60, 64 people hit the like button. There was about maybe 20 comments or so. This is another interactive one. Now, this is type the first 3 words that you see, right? And I put, I got love, money, and freedom. But this one, there was 502 people that interacted with that one post, guys. Now, if you see something on Facebook and you can see it's getting a significant amount of activity, save the image and post it later. You might not post it the exact same week, but if you see something that's getting a massive amount of interaction, save that post, put it in a file, and come back later and you can put out that post. Now, this is in the area where we're talking about value-based webinars. Now, anybody can do a webinar. I mean, if you learned a strategy, you could implement that strategy and you could do a whole webinar on that strategy that you had learned, right? So I want you to really realize the importance of value-based webinars, because those are all, that's called viral interaction. Like those are completely of people telling other people. So 3,392 people watched that one particular webinar. Okay, those are all real views. So if you have value that you give away, people start sending your brand to other people, because the value that you're creating is helping people. So it's very, very important for you to come from a position of you know, just complete vulnerability and surrendering to the entire industry. You know, I'm not trying to profit from anybody. I'm not saying that, you know, hey, you can only get my value if you pay this big lump sum of money over here. I'm not doing that, guys. I'm giving away huge amount of value for free and not even charging people for that value, okay? Now, this is a strategy that I use a lot, and it's called press releases. This location right here is called freepressrelease.com. If you pull up the URL, there's dash marks in between each one of the words. But this is called guerrilla marketing. So this is something that I came out with called the Facebook Pucker Challenge. And it started off as a spoof because I did a pucker pick, and I was, you know, saying, hey, ladies, you know, just so you know, smiles look way better than pucker pics, right? And tons of people interacted. There was like 250 people that interacted with it. So then I said, you know, hey guys, who's got the best pucker pic? And all the guys started chiming in with their pictures and everything else. And that went for another couple, 200-300 interactions. So then I put on this Facebook Pucker Challenge. Who's going to be the reigning Facebook Pucker Challenge king and queen, right? And Deanna Amber, who, you know, is very, very famous for her pucker picks, you know, then it was how everybody was going to try and beat Deanna Amber. And I'm telling you, this thing went completely viral. So because it was a spoof, I talked about how I use these strategies of guerrilla marketing to lasso people around as an audience to tell them about my primary business. So the whole driving force of this was to get my brand, MLM Superhero, to go completely viral all over Facebook, right? And I did it with this crazy little campaign. So just so you know, an average person has about 300 friends on Facebook. If they're a marketer, they may have 3, 4, or even 5,000. So that one campaign, right? That's over 150,000 people that had exposure to my brand. That particular press release cost me $59, okay, for distribution. So I can tell you that if you've got news and if you're helping people solve a problem, if you've got something unique and different, then it will go viral. And press releases, I'm telling you, I've made millions of dollars from press releases, getting the word out about companies, getting a huge amount of media exposure, radio interviews, television interviews, all sorts of stuff that you can do from press releases because they get picked up virally, right, by other media outlets. Okay, very important. Now, why do so many people fail with the particular MLM business model? You know, I know doctors, lawyers, accountants, professionals, stockbrokers, they get excited, they get into the network marketing industry, and guys, they literally fall flat on their face. They just get rejection after rejection after rejection, and finally they go, oh, this is ridiculous. This model just doesn't work. It doesn't work because they don't understand it. They think it's a sales pitch, features and benefits type of a business model, and it's not. So stop selling, start listening, asking questions, and providing value to help people solve their problems. Salespeople are looking for instant gratification. They feel if they can just pitch their deal, they're going to be able to bring in people. It doesn't work that way. You will get a massive amount of what's called pushback. People saying, I'm not interested. Well, take a look at my deal. I'm not interested. But I'm telling you, the antioxidants, they'll totally change your life. I'm not interested. Man, I'm telling you, we're going to make so much money. I'm not interested. It's called pushback. So if you come into a retail outlet and that person says, can I help you, sir? Can I help you, ma'am? You go, no, I'm good. I'm just looking, right? So you got to realize that people don't like being sold, right? They love to buy, but they don't like being sold. So the difference is that network marketers actually build relationships. It's a much more gradual process, and you have to provide value. So salespeople that get into this industry, they think it's about selling. It's not. They focus on pitching and closing, features and benefits. They never actually take the time to connect. They're just thinking about their product and making a sale. They don't connect with the person. They never build any rapport or find things in common or ask any questions or compliment them or talk about their family or their hobbies and things that they really like or that they're passionate about. They never build a relationship. They're in it for pitching and closing and thinking about the commission. I'm telling you, if you do that, you will literally it will be painful. It will be so painful that you will end up at some point in time quitting because it's just so much pain and so much rejection, and it doesn't have to be that way. They never get good at asking qualifying questions. It's like, hey, have you heard of XYZ company? I'm telling you, man, it's taken off. You got to get in it. Yeah, lock your spot, man. I'm telling you, this thing's taken off, right? I'm putting some big people in. Get in now, man. Get in now. Yeah, that I'm telling you does not work in this industry, and you will get blocked on Facebook. People will not return your phone calls, and I'm telling you, it's just a painful rejection thing. Don't even do it. Salespeople, conventional type sellers, they talk too much, they listen too little, and in most cases, when people get into the networking industry, they haven't really tapped into their personal power, so they're kind of like waffling. You know, they're scared to really say, yes, I'm in this deal. That's where I'm going. They'll never do that. They're like, well, yeah, I'm kind of looking at this thing right now. You know, can I get your opinion on it? I mean, they're just, you know, it's not good. This is the personal development, leadership, business model. So you've got to be on the path of personal development, feeding your mind constantly, breaking through to get to the next level of your own life, in order to be making any type of big money in this industry, guys. Okay, you got to understand that. Salespeople are not duplicatable, especially if they're what's considered a good salesperson that can just keep on bringing people in. Oh, I recruited 10, I recruited 20, I recruited 100. Well, guess what? If you've been explaining it all, nobody on your team is going to be able to do that. None. Right? And they're going to think that they have to, so none of them are going to be able to do it, and all those people are going to end up quitting anyway. What's different about relationship selling versus conventional selling is relationship selling is very casual. There's no big hype, there's no pitch, there's no get in now, there's no lock your spot. And it's like almost like suntan lotion. You take suntan lotion, you put a little blob on your skin, you rub it back and forth a couple of times, and it starts to go through an osmosis process and sink into your skin. This is really the process, guys. If you have a complete total stranger that you just reach out and say, get in my deal, there's a very, very little tiny amount that ever will. It's like 2%. The rest is all rejection. On the second connection, it goes up to about 3%. On the third, it goes up to 5%. On the fourth, it goes up to 10%. And then it jumps up to 80%. 80% of people will enroll into your company or buy your product between the 5th and the 12th connection or exposure. That's why blogging is good. That's why videos are good. That's why consistency on Facebook is good. It's all about getting your brand and your value to the marketplace. So the question you got to ask yourself is, what are you providing in value right now to the marketplace? How are you helping people to solve their problems? Because if you're not, you're just another pitch person that's out there. So focus on the relationship and focus on helping people to solve their problem. So how do you get a connection, build rapport really, really super fast? There's 4 key areas that you can focus on: family, occupation, recreation, and motivation. Family, where are they from? Do they have kids? Is their parents from here? Do they have brothers and sisters? How long have they been married? How long have they lived in that town? What do they do for a living? How long have they been doing it? What do they like best about it? What don't they like about it? What did they do before that, right? Are they passionate about it? Are they living their passion right now? A lot of people do 9-to-5 jobs and they hate what they do, right? What do they like to do for fun besides work, right? Do they have any hobbies or sports activities? Do they go camping? Do they like to travel? Maybe they've got a favorite sports team, or a woman that's involved with ceramics or crocheting or, knitting or something. What's their passion? What do they love? What motivates them? What's their driving force? So those are the fastest ways that you can build some rapport with somebody. People like doing business with people that they know, like, and trust, and people that they're either like or that they aspire to be like. If you can find 3 things in common in 5 minutes, guess what magically happens? They like you. 3 things in common in 5 minutes, and they like you. So how do you build rapport super fast? What I did is I created this baseball diamond so that you can have a visual representation after this is done. And most people have, oh shoot, just hold on a sec. Most people have played baseball, played softball. They've seen one of these on their at their schoolyard. So you'll notice that when you first start in baseball, you go to the batter's box and you swing your bats back and forth a bunch of times. That's called building rapport, getting to the connection. You don't even have an opportunity to make a sale unless you've built rapport. Now you get up to bat, you get a hit. In order to get to first base, you have to ask qualifying questions to find a need or identify a problem. Okay, so I'm not even talking about my business. I'm not talking about anything unless you've specifically told me that you have a problem or need, and I'm now going to try to help you solve it. But in this type of a business model, something or someone other than you is going to present your business opportunity. Right now, that could be a website, it could be a webcast, it could be a brochure, a video, a DVD, a CD, a hotel presentation, a teleconference. Something other than you is going to talk about the business. Now, I typically, recommend bringing in third-party validation, and a lot of times, guys, that is done in the videos. It does give it a little bit more touchy-feely if there is other people that have had success. I use Facebook chat to introduce other people. Hey, this is Tom. Tom, tell Dave about your story and what's been happening for you. So I try to match people up that are similar. If I've got a lawyer, I try and find a lawyer. If I've got an accountant, I try and find an accountant. If I've got somebody that's a, sports fanatic, I try to, connect them with the sports fanatic. And then I just ask them a real simple question. What did they like about what they saw? And they tell me. And if they tell me that they don't like it, I say, cool. What do you have planned for the weekend? So Tom, what do you like best about the video? Darren, it totally sucked. Cool, what do you got planned for the weekend? That fast, not even a hesitation. So that's called my safety net. So Tom, what do you like best about the video? Oh, Darren, I love the commission structure. I mean, this thing looks amazing. Yeah, that's what I liked too. That's one of the things that I really wanted is I wanted to get something that paid me really high commissions. So let me ask you this, based upon what you've seen and heard, can you see an opportunity here? A real simple question. Now, if he has more questions, he's going to say them right there. Well, actually, I wanted to know about this, right? Don't be the gopher that goes back and forth. Write the questions down and have him agree that those are all the questions that he needs answered in order for him to move forward. Now, if I answer somebody's questions and they're still humming and hawing, this is the question that I ask. So, Tom, let me ask you a question. What would have to happen for you to feel comfortable to move forward and participate? Okay, that gets somebody off the fence. So if they're not interested, they tell me there. If they've got more questions, I'm going to get the final questions answered and they're going to be moving forward. Okay, I start off with this one based upon what you've seen, heard, seen an opportunity here, and then I move into, so Tom, what would have to happen in order for you to feel comfortable to move forward and participate? Okay, those are questions, guys. I'm telling you, you get good at questions, you can become a millionaire. It's really about questions. How good are you at asking questions, and how good are you at listening to get your data, like being a detective? Now, you want to let the tools do all the selling for you, not you. Focus on the relationship. Focus on the connection. It's not your job to sell or convince anybody about anything. Be the tour guide. Be the traffic controller. Steer people to the video. Then just follow up and see what they like best about what they saw. That's it. So here's an example. So Darren, tell me about this. These products. Right now, somebody that doesn't understand this business model, they would literally right there become verbal vomit. Okay, they would become like a fire hydrant. Oh man, I got to tell you, well, this antioxidant thing, it works with the bloodstream, and it's just amazing. And my sleep's better, and I just feel incredible. And I got so much energy, and this other product, and they just become the encyclopedia. You will literally sell yourself out of getting a business partner. Here's what I do, Darren. I really want to find out about these products. Cool. You got a pen? Okay, write down this website. Watch the video and call me back. Okay? Darren, you know what? This marketing plan looks amazing. Can you tell me more about it? Sure. You got a pen? Okay, write down this website. Watch the video and call me back. So I'm just a traffic controller. I'm the tour guide. You're going to watch that video and you're going to come back to me. If you've got questions about something else, I'm sending you to a different video. You come back, you ask me more questions, and I send you to another video. So the videos do the work, not you. You're the tour guide and the traffic controller. So here we are in a quick overview. You want to connect with your prospect. You want to build some rapport. You want to find a few things, ask a few qualifying questions to find a need or identify a problem, and get out of the way. The more that you speak, the less you will recruit. The more that you try to explain, the more that you will sell yourself out of having business partners, especially if they've got children and their time's busy, they got pickups, drop-offs, karate class, ballet. Every word that you say out of your mouth is making it worse for you because they think they have to know everything that you just said. Now, in order to make, this type of an income, 100,000, $250,000 and higher, you really only need 6 to 8 what I call diamonds, right? Those are people that are leaders. They're not afraid to get on video. They're not afraid to get up in front of a group. They have some type of marketing skills. They've got, they can write an email. They can write a little bit of copy. They don't have to be experts, but if they're just committed to rolling out a campaign, right, you've got financial freedom. That's the truth, guys. You don't need 8,000. You need 6 to 8 people that are prepared to roll out a campaign. Now, it's important to know that not everybody's going to be interested, nor are they going to be necessarily even qualified to work with you or to even be an entrepreneur or working with you as a business partner. So what? Just get over it, okay? You got to be married to the process, completely divorced from the outcome. There are zero emotions attached to recruiting. That's why I've always got my safety net. So Tom, what do you like best about what you saw? Darren, it totally sucked. This is one of those pyramid things. Cool, what do you got planned for the weekend? Like that. I don't even flinch. And because I don't even flinch, you say, well, I'm not saying I'm not interested, right? And it totally turns the whole thing around. So if I come up against any, hear what I'm saying, any pushback, poof, I drop it like a hot potato. So what do you like best about what you saw? Oh, Darren, this thing's a total scam. Cool, what do you got planned for the weekend? Like that, right? Be RoboCop, be bulletproof. Now, this is an example of some marketing strategies. You've got online traffic, pay-per-click, online banners, Facebook, LinkedIn, blogging, press releases, classified ads, offline signage, card decals or bumper stickers, networking events like BNI or Business After Business, your local chamber of commerce, home presentations, hotel office presentations, drop cards. Those are things that look like $100 bills that you drop by banks and things like that. Business cards, direct mail, postcards, print or magazine ads, and trade shows and fairs. You don't have to do all of these. I only do a couple, right? And I still was able to make, by 30 days, you saw the income, it was at 100,000, annualized for the year. So this is important to note. We're 6 degrees of separation from everybody in this world. Dave knows Bob, Bob knows Eric, Eric knows Susan, Susan knows Barb, and Barb knows Tom Cruise. This is real, guys. So remember that you want to be working through your people and getting in front of their contacts fast, as fast as possible, their most influential contacts. Now, a lot of things, what holds people back because they're afraid of the rejection is fear. But what if you had no fear? What if you didn't even care? What if it didn't even matter to you? So once you can reverse the polarity of the magnet, once I'm not pitching you on anything, I'm asking you questions to see what I can do to help, right? It turns around the polarity of the magnet. Now you're pulling the information out of people and directing them to something that's going to solve their problem. Fear, guys, is a complete illusion. What you resist will persist and get worse. You got to conquer your fear head on. And I always tell people, if you have fear issues, book yourself into the Anthony Robbins Firewalk. I'm not kidding. Now, a lot of people go, oh my God, I'd never walk on fire in bare feet. Trust me, you'll be safe. You will not get burnt. The body will blow out oxygen. You'll be walking across a cushion of air. They take you through the training to teach you how to do it. I've done it twice. I've walked on glass in bare feet and broken arrows against my throat. There's nothing better that will take your life to another level than finally just breaking through your fears. Take it head on, guys. I'm telling you, we'll never, ever look back, and it will take you to a complete different level of financial freedom. Now, this typically shows this industry. This is bipolar mood disorder, just so you know. That's a graph of bipolar mood disorder. And I can tell you that it's very easy to go from mania to depression when people say they're going to get in, this guy's a heavy hitter. Oh, he went with another company. Oh, that guy's going to get in. Oh, no, he decided not to. Don't get caught in the wave of hypo and mania and crash down to depression, because I'm telling you, it can take you out for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. I've even seen people have to go on to antidepressants because they go from mania down so deep into depression. Don't do it. You got to monitor your emotions. You want to keep the steady eddy right down the middle. Now, there's the yin and the yang, which is there's a little bit of good and everything bad, and a little bit of bad and everything good. The yin and the yang. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Make it a goal to keep a steady, positive energy. Avoid super high peaks and really low valleys, right down the middle. You have to get control of your mind. So how do you build a relationship without even talking to somebody? Value, value, and more value. I tell people to give away your best value. Give it away up front. Give it away for free. It will go viral all over the internet. People will start talking about your brand and your content, and people will just start adding you or start following your content. or just reach out, touch base, and pick up the phone and call you directly to see if they can join your team. Now, what are some of the things that you can do for value? You can have an ebook. I use an ebook. You can do a free report. You could literally do a webinar, write a free report, and now you got a free report, right? But why don't more people do this, right? You could interview a top income earner. Could anybody interview a top income earner? Absolutely. You could provide some secret formula that solves a problem, or a software that solves a problem, or you could do a webinar that solves a problem. Listen to the focus there, guys. Value, problem solving, right? Really simple model when you think about it. Now, I've got my book called MLM Affiliate Magic, and this has generated 13,000 prospects for me. That means that it's been read by at least 13,000 people. Some people send it to other people. So, you know, if you've got something, I read Mike Dillard's Magnetic Sponsoring, and he said, if you want to really take your business to the next level, write a book. So I did, right? It took me about 8 months to write it. And, you know, now I've got it, right? It's a quick read. It's maybe 104 pages, and it really helps you to fast track your career to a completely different level. Literally, it can save you about 3 to 5 years of frustration. Now, what I do, and this is one of the key factors to being able to present your business without even pitching it, okay? So what I recommend to people to do is to come up with 3, 4 different webinars on different topics, right? I've got how to connect with prospects, unstoppable vision, unleash the alpha within, how to recruit new reps in 6 to 45 minutes. But here's the key factor, guys. If I'm talking to you and you're telling me about your whole life and everything, and it's just been a great casual conversation, and I'm on my way out the door, I say, hey, Tom, here's some training that will really help you, okay? Now watch this. The training's going to be right here, but underneath it says, work with me now. This video has nothing to do with my business, nothing. It is going to help him on his path of whatever it is that he's doing, right? Nothing to do with my business, but I can tell you this, once he's about 15 or 20 minutes into that video and he goes, holy cow, this is a lot of value here, he's going to click on that button. Now, in the event that you're working with me personally, I have these set up so that they're replicated. So you can add your username onto the end, and it will actually go to sign you up in whatever it is that we're working on together, but you can actually get a kickstart. You might set a goal for yourself that you want to do this, but at least you've got some value up front. So what I can do, though, is I can hook you up with my designer in India, so that now you've got basically graphics done for peanuts instead of paying rates in North America. And you can see from the quality, my graphic designer is one of the best there is. He's next level, guys. So you want to, if you really want to do what I did, go from 0 to, you know, $100,000 for the year within a 30-day period of time, a $10,000 monthly income, you've got to be very aware on what you're focusing on. Focus on everything that you want. What do you desire? A lot of people don't even know. What would be your preferred state? Okay, that's what you got to think about. That's your physiology in your body. We can speak our realities into existence, guys. So I came out with a self-talk proclamation statement that talked about how money was flowing to me in avalanches of abundance, and my Facebook was lit up like a Christmas tree. My phone was ringing off the hook with incoming phone calls. People were contacting me from all 4 corners of the world. I was making more money in this company in a shorter period of time than I've ever made in any company my entire life. And I read it 3 times per day on coaching calls to explain this process to other people on my team. Now, there was people that within 30, 60, 90 days were also going full-time just by implementing this formula. You can speak your reality into existence. Your physiology in your body is the compass. So I typically say to myself multiple times per day, how do I feel in my body? How do I feel? Okay, because that's your compass. You got to master your thoughts. You got to master your words and master your emotions. Those 3. If you master those 3, you can master your bank account. You know that most people get caught in a tailspin. Somebody says no, and they replay that in their mind thousands and thousands of times, and they create a blocker. and then they're out for 2-3 days. They don't take any action, right? So you got to be thinking about what you want. You got to be speaking about what you want. You got to be writing about what you want. And what does it feel like in your body, right? If you had $10 million right now in the bank, what would it feel like in your body? Would you walk differently? Would you talk differently? What would be different in your whole being walking around if you knew right now all your bills were paid, your house was paid for cash, your cars were paid for cash, you travel anywhere you want, you can buy anything you want? What would it feel like to be like that? It's important for you to get this. You're literally walking a tightrope between two worlds. There's everything you want on one side, and there's everything that you don't want on the other side. Now, whichever one that you focus on, guys, is what you're going to get. That's how it works. Okay, this is tried, tested, proven. This is scientific. This is laboratory research. This isn't an accident. This isn't some sort of concept or idea. This is how I became a millionaire at 35 years old and went on to make multiple millions of dollars, all by understanding these formulas. You've got to be a millionaire in your mind long before it shows up in your bank account. And your physiology in your body is the compass. Now, use visualization, the power of visualization. Get clear on what it is that you want. Get clear on your perfect business partners. Take out a piece of paper and write my perfect business partners. What are they? What kind of income level are they at? Are they married? Do they got kids? How many vacations do they take? How many cars do they currently have? You've got to be so clear on your business partners that those are the people that start picking up the phone. Those are the people that start reaching out to you. What is your intention? Now, there's a big difference between a goal and an intention because it's got emotion behind it. Very important. When you set your intention, you're setting a forward movement in motion. Now, what are you wanting to achieve? What's your preferred state? You got to define your perfect day. If everything was amazing, what would that be like? Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't have anybody to talk to. Guys, this traffic strategy that I just did, that I rolled out, I'm going to show you my actual results. But that's where I got it, mysuperherotraffic.com. Check this out. This is me. This is one of my posts. And I did piggyback marketing off of the Flintstones. So it had a picture of Fred Flintstone and it said, yabba dabba do. It's official. My underground marketing campaign that I've been rolling out the past few days has been a huge success. In fact, it's my very first profitable paid marketing campaign online that I've ever done, ever. Not kidding. Now, is that not vulnerability, guys? I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I'm just an average guy that's got big dreams. Truthfully, that's really the truth. You could do anything that I've done here. I say, what's even better, what is that it was completely automated. That means I didn't do a single Facebook chat, not a single conference call, not one three-way call. I didn't do any blogging, no press releases. Heck, I didn't even pick up my phone. Honestly, I feel like David Wood right about now. That's called speaking to the listening. Speaking to the listening. Those are all things people do that take up a huge amount of time. And Dave Wood said, hey, I don't even have a phone, right? So I'm piggybacking off of that as well. So I've used piggyback marketing off of the Flintstones. I've piggyback marketed off of David Wood. I've spoke to the listening, and I've gone into what's called vulnerability, right? Now, if you really want to take your life to a next level, you got to surrender your ego and be prepared to be vulnerable. Okay, there's strength and vulnerability. So look at the stats. Total spend was 560, total leads generated 228, total sales 23, total new team members 14, total revenue so far 583. Okay, so here's what's happened. Total sales now went up to 25 by the fall that evening. Total team members is now 15, and the total revenue so far is I think 630. It was 583 plus another $54. Okay, so whatever that is, well, you know, 634 or something like that. So it says, Wilma, call Betty and Barney Rubble. We're going out for some T-Rex steaks and jungle juice. Message me if you have a budget, but you have no time to run a business. So who am I targeting? I'm targeting the executive that's slaving away, that's stuck in traffic. They might be making $75,000 to even as high as $200,000 a year, but they're looking at this post like their exit strategy, or they've never had any success in networking, and they're looking at this and say, holy cow, he did that all just with some traffic, I'm in. So here's the secret to becoming a top recruiter, guys. Provide 10 times the value of the entry price before a person joins your business, and 100 times the value of the entry price after a person joins the business. Remember this: value, value, and more value. Here's a typical Sunday. Get up on a Sunday, it's, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the morning, and that Sunday was a $716 day. Right, getting out and starting my day, $716. Now, that was right in my momentum of my campaign that I was talking about, that I rolled out, that I showed you, the 12,300. This was another campaign that I rolled out, and in 2 days, it generated $7,925. Now, I wish there was somebody that had told me all this stuff. This is all the stuff that I've learned just from trial and error of, getting into people's psyche and really understanding what makes them tick, and testing things and seeing what kind of response I got, testing something else, and then putting all of it together so that you literally have a fast track here, guys. And it doesn't matter what you market. These strategies work for any business. Couple books that I recommend: Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks, and also Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, a best-selling book. And if you want to get a copy of my book as well, you can go to MLMSuperhero.com. Guys, I promised you I would give you an amazing value and bonus. This one Unstoppable Vision webinar, I'm telling you that it will get you tapped into your driving force. Most people don't know. What's your blocker? What's holding you back? Why is it that you're not moving forward at a rapid pace into momentum? What's stopping you? For most people, it's because they have no idea what they want. So when I say, hey, Tom, give me an idea. What level of income are you looking to generate? Lots. That's nothing. That's asking the universe for zero. Lots. Okay, well, here's a penny. Are we good? Right? You got to be clear. What do you want the money for? Why do you want it? Darren, I want to get a Ferrari. Really, why? Tell me about that. You got to peel back the onion and get to the core. What is the driving force, and why do you want the things that you do? So what you need to do is just email me, Darren@DarrenLittle.com. In the subject line, put Unstoppable Vision. And that way I can just do a search. I get over a few hundred emails a day, so I can just go Unstoppable Vision, search. All the people will be there that want to get a copy of that, and I'll send that off to you with a link. So, guys, my name is Darren Little, also known online as the MLM Superhero. If you want to work with me personally, go to workwithdarrenlittle.com. I'm rolling out a new campaign, guys, right now. Unbelievable response that I've got in a very, very short period of time. You saw some of the numbers that we're doing. So much so that Monday I've got another campaign starting that's 1,000 clicks. My first one was 800. My next one's 1,000. So I started off with 560, and now I got all that money back. Now I'm putting it back in. I'm putting $700 back in, and I'm going to do what's called scaling it up, right? So I know that by the time I scale it up to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, over a period of time, it's just going to exponentially grow the business, and anybody can do that. Anybody could start off less. They might start with $100 in traffic and scale it up from there with their success. So workwithdarrenlittle.com. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm happy to chat with you personally. 604-771-1901. If you're international, add me to your Skype, Darren Little 11, Darren Little 11. And thanks so much for joining us on this this exclusive and private VIP webinar here today. Okay, so we are, let's see, let me just undo this. Okay, guys, so thanks a lot for joining us on this exclusive and private call. If you're looking to take your life to the next level, if you're looking for millionaire mentoring, training, and coaching, guys, I've literally taken people from homeless, and 6 months later, they've had a $20,000 a month. You know, these strategies are tried, tested, and proven. This isn't something we're pulling out of a textbook and, hey, let's go give this a try. This isn't something that, I went to a seminar and maybe this will work. It's not like that. every single time, consistently. Every time I roll out a program, instantly within 30 days, wham, it takes off. 90 days, 100 reps in, just like that. All brand new people, guys, not going to the same people. So you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes, and I look forward to meeting you in person one day, and I look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye for now.